Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We got an impromptu pep rally going on over here. It's great to have you all here. This is an exciting day for our program. It's an exciting day as we position ourselves in college basketball. Today doesn't happen without having great support at the top of our university. It took a lot of people to really help us make this happen, and it starts with our Board of Trustees. We've got several trustees here that had a lot to do with us being able to make this happen, and it starts with the Chairman of the Board, Joe Conrad. Thank you, Joe. Vice Chairman Pat Sly, and Dr. Richard Chaffetz. Thank you, Rich. In order to attract coaches like Travis Ford and his family, and it's great to have you here, you've got to have everybody engaged. And these people helped us make this happen this week, and I couldn't be more thankful for your leadership and your partnership in making it happen. It also takes a university team, and we've got a wonderful university team. We had several vice presidents, Vice President Kent Porterfield, Vice President David Heimberger, Vice President Bill Kaufman, and others who really helped make this happen. These things, to make them happen, it takes a lot of people totally engaged. It takes people that understand what your vision is, and it takes people that buy into that vision of what it means to a university. And so I thank you all for helping us make it happen as well. And finally, certainly not finally, but it takes a leader at the university. And Dr. Fred Postello, since he walked onto this court, when he accepted the position, the first place he came, you've heard, he came right here to Chaffetz Arena. He certainly understands what college sports, what college basketball means to a great university. And his leadership and his vision throughout this process in the last few weeks is why we're here today. And so please help me welcome Dr. Fred Postello, the president of St. Louis University.
Thank you, Chris, and thank all of you for being here for this special moment. This event comes at a time of great promise for our university. There's great energy here at SLU. In 2 years, we're going to be celebrating our bicentennial, our 200th anniversary. Many exciting things are happening on our campus, from enrolling students who are in the top 10% of the nation's profile, to offering health care, literally saving lives, generating cutting-edge research, forming young men and women who model our tagline, higher purpose, greater good. This right here is one of the spots on campus where the level of excitement runs particularly high. And we saw that just this past couple of weeks. We had 3 of the WNIT tournament games right here on this floor. It's some of the most exciting basketball I have seen. Coach Lisa Stone and our women players played with smarts and heart. At Catholic colleges and Jesuit universities in particular, there's a passion about basketball. Some of the finest basketball teams and finest basketball programs in the nation are found at Catholic and Jesuit schools. Basketball is in our blood. This commitment is reflected in our recently completed strategic plan, which includes this specific goal, and I quote, "We will utilize SLU athletic programs as a strategic asset in increasing the visibility of the SLU brand and the prestige of the university nationally and regionally," end quote. We kept the strategic plan forefront in our minds as we interviewed coaching candidates. Athletic Director Chris May, Vice President Kent Porterfield, and I listed what we would look for in a new coach. We wanted a great recruiter. We wanted someone who knew how to coach and develop players. We wanted someone who had a proven record of success and could hit the ground running. All of that was a given. We wanted more. At the very top of our list was someone who shared our values, understood our mission, and truly believes that the student must always come first. Moreover, we wanted someone who would enthusiastically engage the entire Billiken community and who fully understands what it means to be a key representative of our university. We wanted someone who will work tirelessly, building and extending our reputation. We wanted a winner, on the court and off the court. After our interviews, the three of us came to a unanimous decision that Coach Ford was our man. Today is an exciting day for St. Louis University. Our new coach, Travis Ford, brings a passion and energy that will excite Billiken fans everywhere. And here, Travis will find a welcome and supportive university community and a fan base that wants to see our basketball program prosper. His success will instill pride on our campus and with Billiken fans across the world. At St. Louis University, we strive to excel in everything that we do, from athletics to patient care to academics. Travis Ford wants to see SLU men's basketball team be recognized as one of the best in the country. He is committed to our mission and values as a Jesuit institution. I ask you to join me in congratulating Chris May on another impressive step forward in Billiken athletics. And Travis, to you, Heather, Brooke, Kylie, and Shane, and other members of your family here today, welcome to SLU. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. It's now my honor to bring up, obviously, the guy everybody wants to talk to today. As we started the process, Fred mentioned, we were focusing on head coaches that had had success at the highest levels, head coaches that understood what our values were, that understood what our objectives were. And we talked to all of them about our objectives. It's about coming to SLU and getting a great education. It's about coming to SLU and us being nationally competitive, competing for championships, going deep in the NCAA tournament. And it's also about helping us build a brand here at St. Louis University that we also believe so strongly in. And when you went out into the marketplace, we talked to people nationally, I talked to people all across the country. I talked to coaches in the NBA, I talked to coaches collegiately, I talked to athletic directors, I talked to executives from the highest level in sports marketing, and every one of them came back with a couple pieces about Travis. They talked about him being an unbelievably quality person. They talked about him having a motor that nobody's going to outwork him. They all talked about his recruiting prowess as being second to none. And the people that really know him talked about his connection with kids, his connection with student athletes. And when I watched him work last night, the first people he wanted to talk to after we signed the agreement last night is the team. And so we texted the team came over, and when you saw him connect with these young guys, it became very, very clear what Travis Ford's all about. Travis Ford is a winner. Travis Ford has a vision to take St. Louis University to the highest levels in college basketball, and he has a vision to bring St. Louis together to really celebrate a great college basketball program. So please help me welcome our head coach of the St. Louis Billikens, Travis Ford. Oh, we got to do a photo op. Oh, hey, get over here. We got to, right here, we got to protect this.
Thank you. Well, thank you for everybody coming out this afternoon on a little bit of a short notice, but it really means a lot to us. First of all, I want to just thank the Board of Trustees, Dr. Postello and Chris for this amazing opportunity. For somebody who has been around the game of basketball my whole life, getting to know about St. Louis University and the tradition of its basketball program has really, really energized me at a level I haven't been at in a very, very long time. I've known a little bit about St. Louis University basketball. When I was in the Atlantic 10, I was a head coach at UMass. I actually came here one day and I shared the story with Chris. We came in a couple of days early and we practiced at one of the gyms here on campus, one of the older gyms. What was the name of it? West Pine Gym. We practiced there, and after practice was over, I grabbed one of my assistant coaches, and we kind of walked around campus. And I remember to this day, I walked around campus, and I was telling my assistant, this place is amazing. This place is unbelievable. Now at that time, Coach Majerus had it really rolling. They were really, really good. And I said, man, this place could be one of the top basketball schools in the country right here. There's no reason. And I said, man, they just need a on-campus facility. They had that. Sky's the limit. And when the position came available, and I saw that St. Louis University was looking for a basketball coach, I got excited. I made a phone call, and Chris and I talked. And then we met. And I got to meet with Dr. Postello and Chris, a few other administrators. And after that meeting, I couldn't want this job anymore. I was so excited to hear their vision of what they expect from not only wins and losses and the level they think this basketball program could go to, but to hear their vision of what, mentoring young men is all about. I studied. I got on the internet and I studied the mission statement of St. Louis University, and it aligned with the things that I believe in. I listened to them and thought of the values that I want to instill in my basketball players, perfectly aligned with what they were saying. And after the meeting, I just went back to my room thinking, this is a perfect match. This is what I've always been looking for. I will be heading into my 20th year as a college head coach next season. 20th year as a college head coach. I've coached at every level. Coached some amazing players, have players in the NBA right now, had the highest ranked team, beat a lot of ranked teams, and I've learned a lot in these 19 years. I've learned a lot. I've grown as a person, I've grown as a coach, and I continue to grow. But the number one thing that I continue to understand, and as I grow and I get older as a person, as a coach, that God has a plan. And God has a plan, and He's gonna put me in a situation that we can all excel in. And my faith in the Lord gets me through each and every day. And God has put me and my family here today to do great things, to make our mark, to help these young men reach a level that they never believed they could reach before. I met with the team last night, and I told our team, I said, I look around and we want this basketball program to be not just one of the better teams in the Atlantic 10, but we want to be one of the top teams in the country, consistently, every year, year in and year out. There's been some unbelievable players here. Some are here, you see them in the rafters, and there's been great teams here before, but we want to build on that and make it consistently a basketball program that St. Louis University, the city of St. Louis, can be extremely proud of. I talked a little bit about my style of play. We're going to bring a style of play here that kids are going to love to play, fans love to watch. We want to make Chaffetz Arena sold out every single game, and I know we have the Cardinals here in town and we have the Blues here in town, but we want to make this the hottest ticket in St. Louis. We want this to be the place where people are looking for tickets, where you're getting phone calls and people are calling and asking, hey, you got any tickets? You have any ticket? I need a ticket to the night game. I don't have any tickets. I'm sorry, mine are gone. My family's using mine. We want it to be a place where this is a hot ticket, a tough place to get a ticket. And what's that going to take? It's going to take the support of everybody in here right now. This is a total group effort. We're all in this together. This is not my basketball program. This is your basketball program. I'm here to lead it. I'm here to make it the best basketball program in the country. I'm here to try to make it a top 25 program year in and year out. But this is your basketball program. And we need your support. We need it. But we have the facility. I mean, this is one of the nicest basketball facilities I've been in. We have an unbelievably beautiful campus. We have a city that I can bring recruits to and say, you want to be a part of it. You're going to end up living here down the road. This is where you're going to put your roots because of the relationships that you're going to build at this university, because of the support and love you're going to find from the fans. This is where you're going to end up raising your family. All these things are the reason I wanted to be the head coach here so badly. This has unbelievable potential. We're going to get this thing. I've already hit the ground running. I'm headed to the Final Four this weekend to continue to put my staff together. And then we've got to hit the road recruiting and get some of these players here who are in front of you start working out a little bit. But this is going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Again, I just want to thank you and thank Dr. Postello, thank Chris, Board of Trustees. Thank you for this opportunity. My family and I, and I'm going to bring them up here in just a second, the words can't describe how excited we are. We feel honored to be a part of your family. We feel very honored to be a part of St. Louis University, the city of St. Louis, and great things are ahead. And thank you again for everybody for being here. And I would just like to open it up for any questions.
Did you contact the school first or vice versa?
It was mutual. When you go through a process, and you know, I've been through it before, everybody kind of gets a hold of somebody in different ways, and there's always to kind of get a mutual understanding of somebody interested, are they interested in me, and where are we at? And I was very interested for the reasons that I mentioned, but also I wasn't in a rush. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't in a rush. I laid kind of my vision out for Chris that these are the things I'm looking for. Number one for me is a place where my family we could put roots into, and a place my family would love living. I wanted a place where we could come and make a difference, a place that would appreciate hard work, and a place that, you know, that has the same values that I have and my family has. And as we talked, they all were, as I told my wife, it's almost too good to be true. It was exactly what I was looking for. It's exactly what I was looking for. And all that's continued, and it's not always, it has continued every day. We've been talking for the last week. Every day it just got a little bit better. Every day and then last night, and there was all kinds of reports, I know different days that we'd done this. We signed the agreement last night, and it became official. It just kept getting better and better last night, from how people were just making me feel at home. I've gotten to meet some great people in the last couple of days, and just every day just made me feel even more and more, this is the place. This is a place that we are going to love being a part of. And for doing this as long as I have, that's a good feeling. I woke up this morning as excited as I've ever been. I really was. And I've taken other jobs where sometimes you wake up and you know, is this right? There's so much going on. Man, I was locked in this morning and just couldn't wait to get here today. And that's a great feeling. It is a great feeling.
Coach, welcome to St. Louis.
Thank you.
You mentioned, everyone up there has mentioned your recruiting. What is your approach to recruiting, and does that change based on where you go, what school you're at, or is there an overall philosophy that guides you?
Well, I think there is a different philosophy for recruiting at different levels, and that's at different schools. For here, my goal, my vision, and what we're going to do is if you're one of the top players in St. Louis, in Kansas City, in Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, then we think this is the place you need to be. I know there's some pretty good schools out there that have pretty good basketball programs, but we're going to be able to compete with those. Now is the time for us to compete with those schools, to keep the best players in St. Louis home, keep the best players in Kansas City in the Midwest area home. But with that said as well, we're going to recruit nationally. Again, I believe St. Louis University has everything in place to recruit nationally, from the facilities to the support to the city. Everything's in place. It's going to require unbelievable effort. It's going to require, again, we're going to pack the Shavitz Center this winter, so the future recruits know this is a place they want to be a part of. We're going to play a fun and exciting style of basketball, but we want to recruit nationally, but also we want to keep our hometown kids home, and so they can play in front of their family and friends, but also go out and recruit nationally, without question. And that's going to start immediately.
Right back here, Coach.
Yes.
Travis, how are you?
Doing great. Great to see you, Frank.
How about just...
We finally get to talk.
What's that?
We finally get to talk.
That's right. I've been talking to your dad too much. I need to talk to you more. How about just last night, you're at Sportsman's Park with Chris, and how you spent your night trying to reach out and connect some of the former Billikens with this present program, and how involved do you want the former greats in this program?
Well, I think it's really important. I reached out to Larry Hughes last night, one of the greatest players to ever play here, and a great NBA player who lives here now. Look forward to develop a relationship with him. Talked to Erwin Claggett, one of the great players to play here, called Coach Grauer. I've talked to a lot of people, and there's a lot more to talk to. There's so many more to talk to. Because tradition is important. Tradition is important wherever you're at. And the alumni are the base. The former players, fans, they are the base of what's going to build this. As I said, this is their program. I'm here to lead it. This is theirs. I would want Larry to every practice. I mean, as much as he could. I told Coach Grau, I want these guys here every day if they could be. I'm going to reach out to the alumni probably like they've never been reached out to before. I want them involved, and I want to hear from them. What do they need? What can we do to get them involved? Because I want to see when we bring these recruits in, I want them to see great teammates like they're going to have here, but I also want to see them to see that there's alumni that are involved. Because if alumni are involved, that means that they were treated correctly when they were here, or they would not be involved. So I'm going to be reaching out to as many players as we can. We've talked about getting, the database updated, getting phone numbers, whether it be former players, former coaches, whatever it may be. We want everybody involved in building this to one of the best basketball programs in the country. But we did. We sat last night and made a bunch of phone calls. I made recruiting phone calls, and and I was so excited. It was fun. It was. I'll be honest with you, it felt like when I was 15 years ago when, really getting things started at whether it was Eastern Kentucky University or when I went to UMass. It was just that feeling of, I can't wait to get started and just good people around me. But the alumni base, the former players, I'm going to be reaching out to them very heavily in the coming days.
Hi, Coach. In this community, we root for each other in terms of teams, so nobody roots for the Rams anymore. But are you a Cardinals fan?
Who?
Are you a Blues fan? Yeah, who?
Yeah, I am a Cardinals fan. Matt Holliday's a friend of mine. Matt and Leslie are a friend of ours, somebody I've been talking to a little bit. He's kind of helped me get the lay of the land. But always have been Cardinals fans. My kids are Cardinals fans. Blues fans, I'm learning to be a Blues fan. I started following hockey a little bit when I was at UMass. But you're exactly right. And that's one thing that I love about St. Louis. Everybody pulls for each other. Everybody pulls. But I want to reiterate, we want this to be the hot ticket in town. We want this to be the hot ticket in town. We can all support the Cardinals. We love the Cardinals and the Blues, but we want this to be the hot ticket in town.
Coach, thanks for coming. We're really grateful to have you. By now, you've probably had a chance to look at some of the game tape this year. I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about what you see, and especially in terms of the returning roster, and if you have any thoughts about the team we have coming back.
Well, I met with the team last night, and I gave them an extremely brief synopsis of kind of what I'm about and what I believe in a little bit, style of play. That's probably going to be a little bit of the difference is, I play a very up-tempo, aggressive style of basketball. It's not just run and gun, but we want to have fun out there. I want my players to have fun playing the game of basketball and competing. That's really important. In order for you to be your best at anything, you better be having fun doing it and enjoy competition. Enjoy, figuring out how to compete with that opponent in front of you. And I also told them a little bit about the backbone of my program is developing the individual player, something I really believe in. I really believe in developing the individual player. There's probably not another coach in America that spends as much time and takes as much pride in developing the player individually in the gym with me and that player, and then putting them in position on the court to use their talents and give them the freedom to use their skills. That's really important to me. Over the last 11 years, I've had 7 Players of the Year in the league. And I think a lot of that has to do with they have great players, but we develop players. And then we put them in position to not hold anybody back. I don't define players. I don't say just go stand underneath the basket. That's your job. Yeah, there's some guys' job that they better lead us in rebounding. So I tell my players, some of you guys, on your resume says rebounding. You better go do that. Everybody has what it says on your resume. That's where you lead with, but I want to expand your game. I want you to have fun playing. And I think they'll see that. It's a fresh start. It's a fresh start for me. It's a fresh start for these guys. I can't wait to start working out with them. But I think the style of play, they're going to love playing it. The fans are going to love watching it. It's had tremendous success. But it's a fresh start. It's a fresh start for everybody. But I'm anxious to get started. I'm anxious, and several of these guys that really, and I want them to know this, and this is good lessons to learn. I met with them last night, and I think Chris might have texted them my phone number or whatever, just in case they needed it. And several of them text me later on, Coach, really nice to meet you. Enjoy hearing what you had to say. Just that just reaching out meant a lot to me. And got to meet with a couple of them this morning. We'll meet with a couple more of them this afternoon. But, there's work to be done. There is work to be done. As I told them, I know where we finished last year in this league. We're not going to finish there again, but there's work to be done.
Hi, Coach. Can you still dunk?
Don't know if I ever could, so no.
Well, I'm curious if you could just give us some general thoughts on the A10, and then your thoughts on establishing that great rivalries for the Billikens with the other contemporaries in the A10 conference.
That's a good question. When I was in the A10 with the UMass, it has changed a little bit. The Atlantic 10 has changed as far as some teams have gone and some teams have joined the league. Obviously, Dayton has been at the top of the league for a couple of years now. You have VCU. George Washington's on an incredible run right now. St. Joe's, who always has great tradition of basketball. I've always said, even when I went to UMass, that the Atlantic 10 is a great basketball league as far as just tradition of true basketball. You have the Philadelphia schools and different things like that. And for basketball enthusiasts, it's a great basketball league. So yes, we are trying to catch Dayton. We're going to catch VCU. That's, I'm not hiding that. That's where we got to be competing at. But then we got to hopefully go to a step further. The Villanovas of the world that are very similar. Xavier obviously has been competing at a high level, for many years. That's where the level we need to get to and beyond. And the key is to do it consistently. Do it consistently year in and year out. And you do that through the recruiting aspects, through the style of play, through the fan support, that when a young man's looking to come to school here and he's trying to decide between St. Louis U and Villanova, he's going to say, I want to go to St. Louis U because, man, they pack it out. They have the best facilities. I want to play in that style of play, and they're one of the top teams in the country. So I have studied that. There's no doubt. Your question is something I've looked at. Where are we now and where are we headed? And there's no doubt you've got to look at the teams that are on top of your league and take pride in saying that we're going to catch those. Our goal is to catch those guys. Don't hide from it. Don't hide from it and say we're going to try to catch those guys.
Right down here, Coach.
Coach, how long do you think it will take to turn the team around, the program around?
I don't know. It's impossible to say. I've taken over different programs at different states, at different times of the period, and different. I've taken over programs where I took over one program that had many seniors on it when I took over. We're a relatively young basketball team, as you look at it, pretty relatively young, which is exciting for me because there's room to grow. These young men, I want them to be better than they even think they can be. Now, they're going to be pushed to a limit they've never been pushed for, but they're going to have fun doing it. But there's not a timetable on it. With that said, I'm a pretty impatient person. I like results. But as I said, I've been doing this a long time. There's a lot that I've learned. And one thing I've learned is to try to be patient. But I'm not patient in recruiting. I'm not patient in wanting to win. But there's not a timetable on it. I understand where our team is at. I understand what needs to be done. There's a whole lot more I need to get a grasp on and understand. But every program's different when you take something over at where they're specifically at that point in time. So there's really, I don't necessarily have a timetable on it.
Coach, you sort of touched on the styles you like to play. Can you sort of elaborate on both of them, offensively and defensively?
Yeah, offensively, again, we want to be aggressive. We want to put pressure on the defense. We want to get the ball out and push it. We want to fast break, but it is not run and gun. It is not take any shot. We want to take great shots out of our system. My offense is based around spacing. You know, we have incredible spacing when it gives our guys the ability to go one-on-one, ability to, you know, drive and kick. And I just think spacing is very, very important. But spacing, ball movement, player movement, a lot of people would say I would probably run a little bit of an NBA-style offense, which is probably true. I do study NBA teams a lot. Every late September, I pick a different NBA team. I go to training camp and spend 2 or 3 days there and studying different coaches and things like that. So I have, you know, a lot of people say I have very much an NBA-style offense, which is probably true. You know, again, you look at some of the players I have in the NBA now. Defensively, I like to be aggressive. We're going to press. We have different type presses. We want to try to make the other team uncomfortable. That's what I want to do. I want to make the other team's offense, get them out of their rhythm, make them uncomfortable, and I'm a huge believer in game preparation, preparing for your opponent, try to take the strengths away from your opponent, and maximize their weaknesses. I'm very big in game preparation. Well, I just want to thank you again for coming out. And one last time, we're all in this together. We are all, let's have fun. Let's make this exciting. Go get your tickets now. If you don't have season, go get them right now. You're going to want them. We need to pack this place to continue to build this, to make this one of the top basketball programs. But this is your program. We're all in this together, and I can't wait to meet more of you personally. And again, my family, who they're going to be coming up here, my wife, Heather, Kylie here, my daughter, Brooks, my oldest son, and Shane, my youngest child. We are very excited to be a part of your community. And I want to thank you again for this opportunity, and I can't wait to get started. Thank you very much. Thank you.